Our next award is the best value pick, and a loaded field for this one, guys. That includes Brock Bowers, of course. His ADP was tight end 12. He finished as tight end 2. Chase Brown, ADP was RB 35. Remember the great Zach Moss war in training camp. He finished as a top 15 running back in points per game, but from weeks 9 to 17, he was RB 3. Chuba Hubbard, ADP of running back 45. He finished as a top 15 running back. Brian Thomas Jr., a great rookie season. He was drafted as wide receiver 43. He finished as a top 12 wide receiver. And Jaxon Smith-Njigba, taking a huge leap in year 2. Slept on as wide receiver 41 by draft position. Finished as wide receiver 13.
Any thoughts? Where would you guys go here initially?
Was anyone snubbed?
I don't know if anyone's snubbed because I see Brock Bowers up there, and that's the only one I'm thinking about. You get a rookie tight end. We usually don't trust rookie tight ends. He comes in, and he was pretty much the only tight end that you could say week to week, every single week, he was going to give you his floor in terms of fantasy points. So I hope he wins it.
Yep. Well, Matthew drafted Taysom Hill over Brock Bowers in the league of a-holes, and then unfortunately still won the league anyway. Jaxon Smith-Njigba went on a real kind of odyssey for his season. He started off as a disappointment, and then all of a sudden really
got screwed by Tyler Lockett in our matchup.
My man Tyler Lockett, committing great crimes for the Grape Slappers. Yet. Yes, but to me, the man is, it starts and ends with the Chubler, as it often does. Chuba Hubbard, who, to be fair, he screwed me in the playoffs because he did nothing against Dallas. But outside of that, monster season for the Chubler, who I think, came into the year as kind of a, what's he going to be with Jonathan Brooks, and then really delivered and was an RB1 for stretches during the season, certainly.
Yeah, and fantasy MVP is so subjective because it's just like, is it the guy that scored the most points? Is it the guy that scored the most points relative to ADP? Is it the guy that scored the most points relative to ADP given position scarcity, right? There's a lot of different ways that you can sort of slice this. It'll be interesting to see what the fans voted on, because all great candidates as well. Chase Brown, again, once he took over the job, he was a top 5 fantasy running back week in, week out. You can make an argument for a lot of these guys, but the Peacocky goes to, from the fan vote. Let's hear from the fans. Yeah, come on in, Peacocky. These are the fan vote. Okay. Yep.
Oh, nice job by the fans.
Well, I agree.
I ain't mad at Brian Thomas.
Yep.
Brian Thomas Jr. Bowers there at 30%. Wow. No love for JSN, just 3%, despite the fact he won a title as part of Live at Noon on the Cock.
Despite that.
Yeah, but despite that. I mean, Josh Allen also was on the team. Josh Allen, who won Fantasy MVP. He was my quarterback, and then of course JSN as well. So, despite passing on Brock Bowers, we had some star power. So anyway, the fan vote goes to BTJ.
Narrowly.
I think you can make the argument for BTJ, right? He finished as a top 12 wide receiver on a points per game basis on a team where, in a loaded rookie class, right after McConkey and Marvin Harrison Jr. and Malik Neighbors, Rome Odunze, all these players that got a lot of headlines. People are like, Brian Thomas, we like him, but Jacksonville, they got Christian Kirk, Evan Ingram, Gabe Davis. Like, how many targets is he really going to earn?
The great thing about it is that it became the Mac Jones show, and the BTJ show only started getting more people buying tickets. He was phenomenal down the stretch.
That's the thing. He probably carried some people to fantasy championships because weeks 11 to 17, he was wide receiver 3.
Yeah,
so
it was scary for like a week or two when Mac Jones first got in there, but then he got right back on schedule and, like you said, finished the season strong.
All right, the Peacocky goes to, where is my friend? There he is. Look at him. Look how beautiful he is. I'm taking you home later. All right, come on over. Yeah, that's right. All right, here we go.
Visualize that.
Bad value pick. Kind of want you to do the honors.
Sure. The best value pick goes to, once again, in a loaded,
stationary.
In a loaded
ravaged.
Chubby Magic.
Oh, the
Chuba Hubbard.
Oh, the Chubler. What a great upset.
Wow, that's a big upset.
Take that, fans.
I think you should speak as the leader of Chubby Magic.
Yes. For those who don't know, my team all year was named Slap Them Like a Grape, the Grape Slappers. And then I changed my team name to Chubby Magic 30 minutes before kickoff of Panthers against the Cowboys to try and reinvigorate the squad.
Yeah, sure.
And to be fair, Chubby Magic did absolutely nothing and got stomped, largely because Chuba Hubbard didn't do much. But he had a magnificent season. He took over that backfield. He had some huge performances in the fantasy playoffs as well. I've never seen someone score a walk-off game-winning touchdown then go straight on IR like Chubby Magic did.
That's
Just breaking barriers. But yeah, no, great year for Chuba Hubbard. Got paid as
New
well.
contract,
Great to see. And he'll
New
be part of
contract and now Peacocky.
Yeah,
now some good hardware.
Exactly. Good for you,
Chuba Hubbard.
the Chubler.
From week 3 on, he was the 8th best running back in fantasy points per game. And I think you talk about just a value. I mean, so this is a guy that was a weekly starter for the majority of the season. He won people their playoff game. That walk-off, that game was his second touchdown. That walk-off game, I believe that was week 15, that Chuba Hubbard did that. And you mentioned it before. So many people in the preseason, well, Jonathan Brooks is going to be back soon. How good he's going to be a backup running back on a bad team. What do we think this Panthers offense is going to look like? And Chuba Hubbard, whether Bryce Young was rolling or not, whether Andy Dalton was in there or not, he just kept producing. To your point, he gets paid. His ADP of running back 45. 44 other running backs went ahead of Chuba Hubbard, who ended up becoming, throughout the season, a top 8 fantasy running back on a points per game basis. I think the committee did a good job here, Lawrence.
Yeah, I think so too. He's well deserving. Like I said, I like Bowers for this award, but you can't deny a guy who ran for almost 1,200 yards, became their lead back, and he'll be back next year, and there won't be 44 running backs going ahead of him next year.
So yeah, I think it's a real combination of the production plus the value that you got to get somebody to get that much production that late in your drafts. Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and RotoWorld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest RotoWorld fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.